Hello and welcome. This is a 30-minute presentation on neurodiverse entrepreneurs. Welcome. About me, I am London-based. I'm dyslexic. My first career was as a graphic designer. I, I retrained 14 years ago to be a secondary school teacher. For 9 years, I've been a school Senko, working primary, secondary schools, state and private. And currently, I'm working in a sixth form college set in central London. And also, I am a consultant expert for the Department of Education. I gained my PhD in 2018, about 6 years ago, for my 50th birthday, and it's on the topic of dyslexia, school-based trauma, and post-school success. I've been writing books for the last 20 years or more, no, 20 years, 18 books on dyslexia, ADHD, and autism, which I will show you a few. And I specialize in school-based trauma, mental health, and post-school success. These are some of my books. You will see here, all of them are on dyslexia on this page. They began with depression, just trying to make sense of my own childhood. Then you will see dating, marriage, and also parenthood, because I'm the father to two sets of twins, and I'm married, and I began to talk about that journey. On the left, you will see surviving school as a dyslexic teenager, as that it really is about survival. Many, like myself, have an obviously struggle, and so this I was trying to make sense of that. There is a book on dyslexia and mental health. In fact, two of them, which really looks at, and obviously, school-based trauma and depression, and just giving positive and obviously strategies. The book in the middle, the successful dyslexic, is a study of 25 successful dyslexics versus 25 less successful. I really let the participants say whether they were successful or not. Having a degree wasn't really. Having a degree could be both. Just one person who felt that they were not successful said, "Well, I'm not because I lack a degree in a subject of their chosen." And another person said, "Well, I've got the degree, but I'm struggling to get a job." So the same thing could be both. My more recent books have been on crime. Three books. The middle one, dyslexia, neurodiversity, and crime, followed by ADHD and crime, came out last year, and this year is a new book on autism awareness and crime. It's a fascinating book, a series. And the book to the far right, in visible differences, visible success, is really looking at those with hidden difficulties, and it's several obviously profiles of people who have turned these hidden difficulties to success. So you will have interviews there with people with type 1 diabetes, epilepsy, autism, dyslexia, ADHD, manic depression, physical and obviously difficulties, as well as sight impairment. In fact, the impairment guy was fascinating because he was a food scientist who worked to develop foods for the space shuttle program. Fascinating guy. So this talk is on neurodiversity and the ability to be an entrepreneur. So, what is neurodiversity? Well, it is a collection of neuro brain diversity, different, so different brains. People with different brains and therefore different thinking. It was first developed about 25 years ago by Singer, and it covers a range of differences, and I'm saying differences rather than obviously disabilities, which can range from ADHD, autism, cerebral palsy, Down's syndrome, anxiety, dyslexia, and OCD. This talk is based on two papers about to be published: the mind and motivations of the dyslexic entrepreneur, and also neurodiversity on entrepreneurship. Just when enough is never enough. As a part of developing these, I began to read widely of the other studies, and one that hit home was by Ives in 2024, and it looked at 502 UK entrepreneurs. So it was a surface level study that didn't really delve into a lot of depth, where I am now writing book looking for that depth. So their sample was mainly from adults with ADHD. All of them were founders, so they had created their own business. So mainly with ADHD, and then dyslexia and autism. And they said that people with diagnosed autism had less chance of finding a job than those without autism, and the chart to the right is strongly showing that most of these neurodiverse founders struggle to get a job. Chart 2, you will see that most of them had direct discrimination in the workplace, and they were obviously hiding it a lot, and that's chart 3 to the right. 2/3 of the founders felt that obviously starting their own business was their only way of making a living. Okay, that's fairly strong. So they couldn't survive, and I'm using the term survive again, survive within the workplace. So to really starting out alone was their viable way of making a living. And 2/3 felt that neurodiversity made them a better business person, and they saw that neurodiversity was a add advantage rather than a disadvantage. It allowed them to just going out alone. It allowed them to create something new, something that fitted them better. That they were able to find the support they needed. But a main thing in the yellow bar there is they saw that there wasn't a need to be perfect, and that good enough was, and obviously good enough. And some of the comments from the founders were never give up. In fact, there was a saying that failure is when you stop trying. Avoiding comparisons. You should be comparing yourself to a suitable person rather than a non neurodiverse person. Get to know your strengths and the areas where you might struggle. Learning to prioritize and manage your time better, and find tools, AI tools, people to be supportive. And there is a fair bit of research to really support that there are strengths, and that there are some real strengths that can be utilized within on entrepreneurship. Creativity, hyper focus, novelty seeking, risk taking, just being resilient. So the paper I wrote, where Enough is Enough, it looked at 5 neurodiverse on entrepreneurs: Elon Musk, Branson, Gates, Bezos, and Dyson. All of them are fairly unique, and they've changed our world. They've changed how we see things. Elon Musk, Tesla cars, SpaceX rockets, Branson, airlines, Virgin Music, all these and the different ways of really developing his brand and making a better and obviously customer service. Bill Gates with Microsoft, making big PCs user friendly. Jeff Bezos changing how we shop in a huge way. Dyson, how we deal with air, how we use air in cooling, in drying our and obviously hands, in drying our and obviously hair, how we vacuum. Okay, just big things about the world. I mean, IKEA, the founder of that, is also dyslexic. It is about doing things differently, making things better, changing the world. And really, the study looked at various areas of their life, their background, there's what they're known for, how they challenge things, their working style. And really, certain themes came out: risk, challenging convention, failure, and resilience. To learn at early age that risk was okay, and that you can fail at things and then bounce back, and to challenge things, and to never say no, to challenge things and push, and really to make sense of it are two theories. One is underdog, on entrepreneurship. That is starting from a very low point and then building up without having a degree. And I mean, Richard Branson is a classic case. He, without a degree, is a billionaire, without going to uni, without high level learning, but coming up and selling and being the brand. I mean, it really is a the amazing story. And also post traumatic growth, using the trauma of school, of and obviously having chip on your shoulder driving you. I mean, just one, and obviously on entrepreneurs said that uh, he said that he would drive back to school in a Rolls Royce and go up to his teachers and say, "You got me wrong." That's a really powerful thing. That driver. And so the new book project is really looking to get more depth to the reason why neurodiverse on just on entrepreneurs are unique and do some amazing stuff. So stage one is complete. Is they online research and obviously questionnaire. Stage two is now taking place. It's looking at that depth, the reason why they they have succeeded, their drivers, their motivation. But stage one data I will show you now. ADHD was really obviously high with this group of one, two neurodiverse on entrepreneurs. Some time, a lot of them have ADHD as well as autism, or ADHD as well as this dyslexia, having multiple needs, and that therefore you will see here it isn't a unique, because if you add up all these numbers, it's far more than one two. So ADHD was really strong. And the type of business they ran is that the vast majority provided a service, something or a creative service, or they worked in the creative arts, but really a service base is providing a new level of service. Okay, could be a new airline with brand, something else. It's providing a better service. I mean, this is quite amazing that they see that there's a gap of the way that things are done, and they're plugging at that. It's because others like them must also struggle. How long have they been on entrepreneur? Well, 43% said 8 years or more. And then you will see there in the green, another 13.9% said between 5 and 7 years. And another 12% said 3 to 4 years. We're not saying that they've just started. They've survived and they've done well, and they're into their 5+ years, plus a year of their business. You will see that whilst chart 6, whilst 45% work on their own, all the rest are having employees or using freelancers. Chart 7, have they ever worked for someone else? Yes. Yeah, but 68% said that they left to choose to set up on their own because they struggled within the workplace. Chart 4, how many ventures have they launched? And you will see that 58% are saying between 1 and 2, and 35% are saying between 3 and 5. Could be their first one hasn't failed, and therefore it has lasted and grown. Chart 8, the reasons why they struggled in the traditional workplace is because it didn't suit them. 74% said it didn't suit them, and 62.7 said it didn't suit them. 52% said it wasn't flexible for them. 45% said they didn't feel supported, and and really compare that to chart 9, the biggest strength that they can give is to be creative, to problem solve, hyper focus, and a strong sense of fairness. So some fairly big skills to be able to give, and the traditional workplace has lost this because it isn't a bit being flexible for their needs. However, is that the neurodiverse entrepreneurs struggle with certain things like management, organization, planning. They struggle with sound and sensory things. They struggle in networking and managing their finances and staying motivated. However, they are using tools, AI tools, to really support them. What apps, chat, GPT, and different things. They're using these tools. They're being creative with these tools, and that is amazing because those tools are there, and there's a strong judge. Those tools were obviously created by neurodiverse minds that used it to solve problems for themselves. So what's their obviously motivation? Well, 37% said that they wanted to create something positive for those around them, and 26% said pushing their passion or their specialist subject. So there are strong things here, strong drivers. Okay, I mean, in red there, 16.5% said having control of the way that they work. It's a really strong figures these. So thank you for your time. It is a ongoing project. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Please link to me. Okay, my books are available on Amazon and ResearchGate for my research papers. But just going back to the 5 on entrepreneurs, these people have changed the world. They've changed the way that we think, how we buy things, how we use things. I mean, every home has near enough something created by the founder of IKEA. Every home has a PC. Okay, our world has been changed by neurodiverse minds. We are powerful. We're able to think in very different ways, but we are challenging, and this is amazing, and most firms are beginning to harness it. I mean, GCHQ in the UK, these government spy agency are using dyslexic minds to help solve codes because they think out of the box. It really is about challenging the world. It is about asking why not. One of the big things for my new book is asking whether neurodiverse entrepreneurs are better at asking questions. They're better at pushing things. They're better at not taking no as an answer. It is about that. It could be about timing. Elon Musk has pushed a load of stuff, a load of the SpaceX. He has spent billions of his own money for the race to the moon, to the race to Mars, because he wants to solve things. And all these on entrepreneurs have their own private wealth that they are pumping into AI, into robots. They're just trying to change the world. They're trying to make sense of the world. And this is why we are a unique group that needs to be an harness. So I will say goodbye now, and I hope the rest of this day goes well, and please connect with me, because we're better if we connect. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm trying to turn off.